Hello and welcome to Teleislas News with the most relevant and important news of the day. Governor-elect Joaquin Chagrin and Carlos Arturo Fontalvo is the new Secretary of Social Development. Fontalvo Suarez is a specialist attorney in government and public policies, leading the foundation Vale la Pena Creer, and he was candidate for the departmental assembly in the last elections. We make an assessment of the situation of COVID-19 on the islands, and we will also inform you about what could happen with the ICU, which is currently at 81% of its occupancy.
Good evening, Lisa and all the TV viewers. Well, we still the report that the COVID cases in our department is still growing. For Saturday, specifically 54 cases was reported, and for Sunday, 48 cases was reported. Let's remember that the ICU capacity is actually in 81%. We make a balance of all the data that this pandemic is left in our department. A total of 3,749 cases of COVID had been reported on the island so far. According to the official report of the Secretariat of Health, as of May 1st of 2021, 124 are active, and there are 96 active cases that have not yet been added to the national count. Today, there are 220 active cases of COVID-19 on the island. The number of deaths is 52 people. 49 of these are in San Andres and 3 in Old Providence. The number of recovered people to date is 3,519. Without location information, there are 40 cases, while the division of the most affected neighborhood is as follows: Naval Base with 8, July 20 Avenue with 4, San Luis with 4, Sierra Bay with 4, Barrick with 3, Cocal with 3, and Guinea Hen with 3. Teleislas News also get to know that if the ICU capacity in our island is still growing, they are going to dispose different spaces of the departmental hospital to attend all the patients that go in and they are active of COVID-19 and that need help, that need personal help, so can manage this situation. This is all the information we report from here from the town of the island. We will keep tracking the situation of the COVID continually in studio.
And while awaiting the decision to be taken by departmental government in view of the recent increase of COVID cases in the department, the Commercial Guild expressed its opinion on the measures that could be taken in the event that the ID card schedule is implemented again on the island.
Regarding the possible implementation of the ID card schedule on the island, the executive director of the Chamber of Commerce gave her opinion, taking into account the effects on the commercial establishment on the island.
Efectivamente tendremos afectaciones.
Indeed, we will be affected by the possible implementation of the ID card schedule. However, these measures that the departmental government must take are aimed at protecting citizens in the face of the imminent reality that we are living.
In the same line, the officials say that they are waiting for the indication given by the departmental government.
Estamos a la espera.
We are waiting for the departmental government to define the measures to be implemented so we can comply with it as citizens to protect the whole community, and that we can continue to keep the spread as minimum as possible in our commercial establishments, according to what the departmental government gives us through the Health Secretariat.
This journalistic house will be attentive to the decision of the departmental government regarding the restrictive implementation in the archipelago.
And in other news, work began on the reinforcement of the dock at the Johnny Cay Regional Park, a work that will benefit not only tourists, but also the operators of this place.
The Environmental Corporation for the Sustainable Development of the Archipelago Coralina has been carrying out maintenance and repair activities in the Johnny Cay Regional Park, including the reinforcement of the dock for tourist disembarkation.
The bridge from the park, the idea is to give strength and put it back for work, make the maintenance so we need, because right now it's not using. So they will trying to make some work where we can put this bridge for work and organize the entrance and the outcome from the people in the quay. Also, well, it's not only for tourists, but for the workers, for take out garbage, for the workers that carry the merchandise every day, and for the welfare of the tourists, because it's really uncomfortable in the day when they have to get off at the lunch and get back up on the beach, because it's people, someone have to help and get up.
It should be noted that the Johnny Cay Regional Park dock is currently out of operation. This arrangement will not only allow tourists to disembark in better condition, but will also facilitate the arrival of merchandise and the extraction of waste from the park.
And once again, on the beaches of the island, there is seaweed, also known as sargassum, and which sometimes produces bad odors at the areas where they are located. This sometimes causes inconformity among swimmers. For this reason, the biologists of the Carolina Corporation remind us that there is nothing to worry about.
To keep the beaches cleaner to avoid bathing in areas where the seaweed is present are the recommendation of the biologists of the Environmental Corporation Carolina to bathers and to the community in general due to the presence of sargassums in the island. According to Nacor Bolaños, this does not affect human health as they are part of the natural cycles of a Great Caribbean.
Son parte de los ciclos naturales donde
These plants have a phase in which they are anchored to land and that by action of the currents they are released into the sea. They have structures that allow them to float and are part of the natural flows that we have in the entire Greater Caribbean. These algae agglomerate life in great amounts. They are extremely important in the cycles of several regions, and in the last few years we have seen an increase.
To combat these species at international level, a guide of food practice is being promoted. The most common and the one that is practiced on the island is to bury the algae.
And according to the National Road Safety Observatory, motorcycle users are the road actors who die the most on the roads. Having this as basis from May 5th until the 9th, the National Road Safety route of the National Road Safety Agency will arrive on the island, and as a result, they will be providing training on road safety.
This is a strategy that seeks to accompany road actors, encouraging among them the civic culture, co-responsibility, and knowledge in this matter. There will be spaces to evaluate and provide feedback on motorcycle driving skills in the development of a practical test of circulation in a closed circuit, which will identify the skills and abilities that each driver must strengthen.
It is coming to make recreational and pedagogical activities with our road actors, from motor vehicle drivers to cyclists to pedestrians, but especially to motorcycle drivers. The idea is that drivers of this type of vehicles learn about what are the necessary elements to drive a vehicle like that, what are the optimal conditions for motorcyclists to be able to roam the roads of the department, and teach them what is right and what is wrong when driving.
This will identify the blind spots of vehicles, promote good habits in health and biosafety in relation to road safety, and explain to the companions of motorcycles what they should and should not do at the time of circulating on such vehicle. The activities will take place from May 5th to 9th at the Isle of San Andres pedestrian walkway at the Archbold Park.
House Representative Elizabeth J. Pan continues her efforts to create a direct flight connection between San Andres and Miami.
After the Second Commission of the House of Representatives met in the United States to discuss the comprehensive immigration policy, the representative of the House, Elizabeth J. Pang, spoke about the commitments that have been made to contribute to the economic development on the islands. Among them is a direct flight from Miami to San Andres and the employability of the islanders who work on tourist cruises.
Today I am taking with me a pleasant experience and some great contacts for my region where most of the products we consume come from the United States. That is why this issue is so important, and I have started to analyze this law which is so important for Colombians abroad. I also want to make contacts to create this direct flight, for this will unite and bring the United States closer to my island. Thanks to the Director of Spirit for making this possible and to achieve this connection.
Another of the representative efforts was to hold dialogues with the Director of the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line to guarantee the hiring of islanders who work on board these and other companies.
Another connection to support and promote the employability of the people from San Andres who work on cruise ships and who are now unemployed. There are more than 2,000 people who are currently unemployed on the island.
We highlight these projects that seek to contribute to the economic development on the island, especially after the hurricanes and the pandemic that has been affecting the cash flow of the department.
And now let's get to know other facts that are making news in our brief news sections of today.
The Foundation Pro Archipelago, in conjunction with the NGO Antioquia Presente, delivered a playground in the southwest sector of the island of Old Providence. This space is intended for children of the municipality to perform recreational activities for healthy recreation. The delivery of recreational space are part of the social actions carried out by the Foundation for the benefit of the community affected by Hurricanes Eta and Iota. The Tourism Protection Group of the National Police leads the campaign in the department All Against Theft, which seeks to prevent this crime in all its forms through the use of banners with messages alluding to take care of belongings. Therefore, police officers remind residents and tourists to take care of the items in public spaces, especially before entering the beaches. The Office of Women's and Gender Affairs under the Secretariat of Social Development is implementing strategies for the prevention of violence against women and gender in sports spaces on the island of San Andres, with the purpose of establishing a reference that activates the route of attention to victims of violence.
Now we continue with the weather forecast. The weather forecast for today, May 3rd, in the coastal area of archipelago, the sky is mainly cloudy. Temperature is 30 degrees Celsius with winds from the northeast direction with intensities of 18 km/h. Humidity forecast is 68%.